Welcome to the Demonstrating Implementation Excellence stream of SNOMED CT Expo 2024. Thank you to FAST for sponsoring this stream. My name is Sonja Ulrich and I'm the Software Development Manager at SNOMED International. I will be moderating today's session. All questions will be answered at the conclusion of the presentation. Online attendees, please use the Q&A button to type your questions to the presenter. On-site attendees, please use the microphone provided in the room. I'm now pleased to introduce Dr. ZULHAIRI bin MOHAMAD from the Ministry of Health, Malaysia, who will be presenting Standardizing Data Entry using SNOMED CT Local Extensions for Consistent Analysis and Expanding Data Dictionary. Dr. ZULHAIRI, please go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Hope that everyone having a good week in Korea. My name is ZULHAIRI bin MOHAMAD, Senior Principal Assistant Director at the Health Informatics Center Planning Division, Ministry of Health, Malaysia. I'm honored to be here today, excited to share our experiences regarding standardizing data entry using SNOMED CT Local Extension for consistent analysis and expanding data dictionary. First, I will outline the aim and objectives of this presentation, providing clarity on what we intend to achieve. Then I will introduce two key components, MyHDW and the eReporting version 2.0 Oral Health system, followed by an overview of Malaysian Health Data Dictionary MyHDD. I will then walk you through the methodology that we employ to achieve our goals. Afterward, I will present the result of this implementation, followed by a discussion reflecting on the impact, challenges, and implication. Finally, we will conclude with an acknowledgement of key contributors, and then we will proceed with questions during the Q&A session. The primary aim of this initiative is to demonstrate Malaysians' collective efforts to standardize unstructured data entry, focusing on improving data quality and analysis in Malaysian Health Data Warehouse, MyHDW. Through this presentation, we aim to share our experiences, findings, and challenges encountered during the standardization process. This will provide valuable insight to you, our audience, especially those working in healthcare IT, data management, and clinical informatics. Our hope is that this insight will not only illustrate the benefits of standardizing data entry, but also helps you overcome similar challenges in your own environments. MyHDW, established in 2016, is a trusted source of comprehensive healthcare data designed for efficient querying and analysis by the Ministry of Health, Malaysia. The data collected within MyHDW include both structured and unstructured formats. Unstructured data is standardized using SNOMED CT through MyHarmony platform. In previous years, a report from Oral Health program were manually generated from patient healthcare facility visits. Reports were then submitted in an aggregated format via Health Information Management System HIMSS eReporting system. But due to its inefficiency, eReporting version 2.0 Oral Health was developed as one of the source systems for MyHDW, replacing its predecessor. So this picture depicts the data flow for eReporting version 2.0 Oral Health for patient demographics. The patient's name and ID number undergo anonymization through the Privacy and Anonymization Service. Other structured data remains unchanged. Unstructured data entry for eReporting version 2.0 Oral Health originates from the free text box labeled surgical or medical procedure information, where clinicians are required to input information about procedures performed during each patient visit. Notably, I entered temporary filling 1122. This free text is then codified in MyHarmony. For instance, the writing's free text temporary filling is codified as 1733260008, incision of temporary dental filling in tooth procedure. Tooth 11 is codified as 22120004 and tooth 22 as 25748002. These will later translate as two temporary fillings in their respective columns in a fixed format reports FR or ad hoc queries through MyBIS. a business intelligence that was developed within MyHDW. The Malaysian Health Data Dictionary serves as comprehensive reference that establishes standardized definitions and description for health data elements utilized in capturing health and health-related information within Malaysia. First published in 2013, MyHDD is a vital component of Malaysian Health Data Warehouse, MyHDW, aimed at enhancing health information management across various sectors. It provides a robust framework for data collection and reporting, ensuring consistency and accuracy in health data practices. In MyHDD, we have collected multiple data sets, include patient demographic information, clinical data, and public health statistics, each containing various data elements such as age, diagnosis codes, and visit dates. Table 1 shows the data specification for each data element in MyHDD. Each data element includes an ID, synonyms, description, and other relevant details. If there is a need to adopt SNOMED CT concept in MyHDD, this specification have already been described by SNOMED CT in a standardized manner. Table 2 demonstrates an example specifically related to dentistry, with elements such as caries-free and caries-free mouth. These elements also have translation in Malay, our national language. With the integration of SNOMED CT into MyHDW eReporting version 2.0 Oral Health, there is a strong aspiration to incorporate SNOMED CT concept as part of the MyHDD standard. This integration offers significant advantages, providing a broad range of concepts essential for dentistry. By adhering to internationally recognized standards, it eliminates the need to develop a separate proprietary standard. So how do we achieve this? We have a baseline health information framework, MyHIF, that contains both structured and codified unstructured data using SNOMED CT standard. We have also established multiple references through extensive collaboration with subject matter experts, including both primary and specialist oral healthcare service. The latest updates incorporate concept from the March 2022 release of the international edition. So as per requirement, the system works with both structured and unstructured data types. Structured data includes elements such as dates and registration number, while unstructured data is primarily used for recording procedures. The system is capable of recognizing and codifying free text unstructured data and generating the necessary output such as counts or statistic based on the requirements and subject matter expert. These results are presented in a tabular format, which is typically fixed format reports. In addition to fixed reports, the system also supports ad hoc queries, enabling users to create custom reports on demand. This was featured during the early development of MyHDW back in 2015. Additionally, integration with EMR system also plays a key requirement for the system. Since its inception, our health reports have consistently been generated as fixed format reports, which are predefined tabular formats required for submission to the Ministry of Health Malaysia. Although MyHDW offers other reporting options such as ad hoc queries and dashboards, FFR remain the preferred choice. This report provide crucial information for policy making, strategy development, resource allocation, and performance evaluation at both the states and national levels. Through our interactions with SMEs, we understand that their FFR reflect the workload and aids in assessing the disease burden and associated costs related to oral health. This table demonstrates the functioning of MyHIF. Attendance and diagnosis statuses for primary oral care report are captured through structured data analysis. For the fluoride application procedure in column 4, we map it to the SNOMED CT concept topical application of fluoride tooth procedure. This will be translated as follows. When a patient receives fluoride application, whether for the upper arch, lower arch, or both arches in one visit, it will count as 1. For preventive restoration, we utilize post-coordination of two SNOMED CT concept. If a patient receives treatment for PRR type 1, The count will reflect the number of permanent of this or decided teeth that were restored with pihak ratat bone restoration during each visit. Next, we'll describe the result of our standardization efforts, focusing on how this decision have impacted data quality and consistency according to pre-existing requirement given. So the first one is choosing the right concept. So for tools extraction, one of the key challenges in standardizing unstructured data entry is selecting the concept that accurately reflect clinical practice. In this example, a clinician performed an extraction of tooth 1-1 under local anesthesia. So we have two possible SNOMED CT concept to choose from. One was tooth extraction procedure and the other was extraction procedure. Both describe similar action, but we need to ensure that we choose the concept that accurately represents the clinical procedure. To avoid ambiguity and ensure precision in the data, we opted for the more specific concept, tooth extraction procedure. This choice ensures that the clinical procedure is fully captured and can be used effectively in reporting, analysis, and for future reference. In another example, a clinician performed an amalgam restoration, abbreviated as AR16 occlusal. We were faced with two possible SNOMED concepts: insertion of amalgam restoration into tooth procedure or amalgam silver dental feeding substance. Clinicians often use abbreviation or shorthand for ease of use, and unstructured data entry allows them to input a variety of terms freely. However, for the purpose of data standardization, it was important for us to select a concept that accurately describes the procedure performed rather than just the material. Therefore, we choose the concept insertion of amalgam restoration into tooth procedure as it precisely captures the clinical action, ensuring that our data is most accurate and meaningful when used for further analysis. Additionally, to further enhance the codification process and support local healthcare providers, we incorporated local language as synonyms. For example, tampalan amalgam was added to ensure that the concept is easily recognized and adopted by local clinicians while maintaining consistency in the data. Meeting SME requirement for accurate result. Accurately capture data for scaling procedures is essential to reflect the actual treatment received by patient. Patient may undergo different treatment based on their clinical needs, such as scaling only, polishing only, or combination of scaling and polishing. Clinician may also describe this procedure as prophylaxis. In all these cases, SME required that all of these procedures need to be counted as one treatment. To accommodate this variation, we selected 8 possible SNOMED concepts that could accurately represent these scenarios. However, after careful review with our subject matter expert, we narrowed it down to 4 key concepts that effectively capture and represent the count for this procedure. It's important to note that if we had selected only one concept, like on scaling of tooth in our health information framework, HIF, without incorporating the other related concept, it's possible that some procedures would not have been accurately represented in the final report. This comprehensive approach ensures that every treatment instance is correctly captured and counted. Clinical writing versus standard data entry. Another challenge we face is bridging the gap between how clinician document procedures and how we standardize that data for codification. Let's take an example of a fixed bridge 1-1 until 1-3 issued to a patient. In this instance, the clinician has written fixed bridge in a free text field. While this can be accurately codified as a physical object, a fixed dental bridge, it doesn't fall under the procedure hierarchy. Thus, not all physical objects concept exist as procedures. Note that the only concept accurately describe this procedure is fixation of dental bridge procedure, which is not commonly written by a clinician. Furthermore, to ensure we capture all relevant data, we must account for other types of bridge physical object. This illustrates the importance of aligning clinical free text with standardized structured data in a way that most accurately represent clinical reality. Post coordinate or not to post coordinate. In this example, we are examining a situation where our patient has tooth 11 as well as a supernumerary tooth adjacent to it. There are two concepts within SNOMED CT that accurately describe these teeth. Tooth 11, structured as structured of permanent maxillary right central incisor tooth body structure, and supernumerary tooth 11, structured as supernumerary permanent maxillary right central incisor tooth disorder. Additionally, we could, in theory, post-coordinate to more concepts, supernumerary tooth disorder with tooth 11 to represent supernumerary tooth 11. The question we face here is whether to use single concepts for each of these teeth or to use post-coordination combining multiple SNOMED concepts to represent this unique clinical scenario. For accurate data analysis and in the context of the electronic medical record, EMR, it's crucial to retain the first two single codes separately. Post-coordinating the two concepts can lead to inaccuracies, especially when performing queries, reporting, or tracking treatment histories. Next is multiple requirement for a single column. Another significant challenge we faced was handling multiple requirements within a single column of data. A good example of this is the column for abstractions. Subject matter expert presented us with a challenge, the need to count not just the procedure, but also the number of teeth extracted. For instance, if a clinician perform an extraction of tooth 11 and supernumerary tooth adjacent to tooth 11, the requirement is to count the number of teeth extracted with these two teeth extracted, not just the procedure performed. This makes it imperative to choose the right SNOMED concept beforehand. If we rely on post-coordination, it becomes much more difficult to capture this accurately, especially when multiple concepts must be coordinated. For example, imagine having to post-coordinate 4 different concepts for something like insertion of amalgam restoration on tooth 16, occlusal surface, redo filling. Each detail, such as the procedure type, tooth, surface of the tooth, and the reason for treatment, require its own concept, making post-coordination extremely complex. Ultimately, multiple requirements in a single column is quite challenging. This is why careful consideration of concept in advance is crucial for both accurate data entry and reporting. Managing versioning. Managing versioning is another significant challenge when working with reference sets and fixed SNOMED reports. As you delve deeper into this process, you will inevitably face issues such as obsolete concept, change in codes, and updates in synonym. Each of these changes can impact how data is represented, analyzed, and reported. For example, another concept such as complete upper denture procedure that once was valid might become obsolete, or a code might change, which can cause discrepancy in not managed properly. Additionally, synonyms updates can lead to inconsistency in data interpretation, especially when clinicians rely on familiar terms that are later modified or duplicated. Another challenge we encountered outside SNOMED CT is evolving requirements from the SME for reporting. Changes in table, count methodologies, and overall structure can add a layer of complexity to the reporting process. So for discussion, we acknowledge that SNOMED CT is being utilized differently across various regions, and in Malaysia, its primary use since the initial subscription has been for analytic purposes, with specific requirements like fixed SNOMED report FFR. Implementation has proven challenging. Unlike our previous national KPI initiative, it is not as straightforward. During the development process, it became clear to us that standardizing clinician documentation is essential to accurately capture data as required. Different clinicians' understanding of the system, combined with data entry from various dental health services ranging from specialists doctors, nurses, and data surgery assistants significantly influence both the quantity and the quality of data entered. Inconsistency can arise due to unstructured data entry, which negatively impact overall data analysis. Although accommodating these requirements is challenging, the baseline document developed in this process are critical when designing or updating any system, particularly as Malaysia begins implementing electronic medical records (EMR) using SNOMED CT. Local technology is useful as it simplifies concept to better align with national needs. Further works will involve integration of EMR system led by Oral Health Program of Malaysia that include data charting, advanced coding practices using artificial intelligence (AI) and AI-driven analytics. I would like to express my greatest appreciation to this people for this presentation. And with that, I would like to say thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. ZULHAIRI. Very interesting presentation. Dr. ZULHAIRI is joining us now from Malaysia and will take questions. As a reminder, if you're in the room, please use the microphone to ask questions. Any questions? Okay. I have some. Has Malaysia adopted new technologies such as a terminology server for standardization? So was there any tooling that has been used as part of this?
Okay, thank you for that question. I hope that I'm audible.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, so currently we have not integrated any tools directly. Tools, for example, developed by SNOMED CT into our system. So the system we are working with originally developed in 2016, and we are focusing on accommodating our analysis within this pre-existing infrastructure, such as using MyHarmony. Since this project is vendor dependent, any updates or changes in the requirement could incur additional costs, which has made it challenging to integrate with the new tools. However, we are actively exploring ways to improve our system. For instance, one of my colleagues is currently developing an upgrade for MyHarmony to enable an automatic codification of unstructured data without relying on reference sets. So this feature is still in the testing phase, but it holds promise for improving data entry efficiency and accuracy. Looking ahead, for MyHDW itself, we are considering transitioning into a cloud service provider platform. And this, I think, will allow us to leverage the diverse range of application and technologies integrated within the cloud service provider itself, providing a more flexible and scalability in managing and analyzing our healthcare data. So we're hoping that in the future.
Thank you. Sounds very good. And how does the use of SNOMED CT, of a SNOMED CT local extension, enhance the consistency of data analysis? And are you also planning on sharing your findings on an international level, like, for example, collaborating with the dentistry sake of SNOMED International, or projects going on in other countries in this area?
Right now, we are trying to revise our local extension because we're having problem with managing versioning, because we have 3 versions with 3 different editions. The first edition was in 2018, and then we have 2020 version and also 2022 version. So with this version comes with different problems such as obsolete concepts, change in codes, and change in synonyms. So the problem with this is we have to map again our local extension or our local language to accommodate SNOMED CT changes. So right now, our project is currently on hold. We are trying to revise what we have planned for the future. But we hope that once we tackle this hurdle, we will share our experience and this format, or also this through maybe dentistry strategy, or we open to public or private sector to review our findings.
Very much looking forward to that. So are there any more questions here in the room? No? If not, then I will conclude the session. Online delegates, you can stay here for the next presentation in the stream or access another session through the event lobby. Thank you very much, Dr. ZULHAIRI.
Thank you.